So I must say that you are presenting exceptionally well today. Your eyes, they're perfect. I can never quite get the eyes right. It's difficult to create a window to the soul when you don't have one.
Excuse me, sir, you're not actually supposed to smoke here.
You can now. Bugger off. Oh, and keep the change.
Oh, thank you very much.
Mortals, they never learn, do they? A simple word here, a simple compliment there, telling them they think they've received something that they actually haven't. It all works. But, having said that, I must compliment you on your choice of location for this date. Yes, it's got a certain ambience to it. A sort of mortal chic, you know. Yeah. You're immortal, aren't you? No, it's fine. It's fine. It happens every now and again. I mean, it's a mistake, obviously. Well, it can't be my mistake. I don't make mistakes, I just make them happen. Let me have a look at your phone. Thank you. There we go. I assume you were trying to download a popular dating app. Yes, well, you downloaded Cinder with a C. It's a dating app specifically for the damned. It's fine, don't worry. I mean, I was looking forward to a date with a succubus, but I suppose a off-the-shelf human will have to do instead. Well, you know what I am. But that doesn't mean we can't have a good time, does it? Good. Well, actually, I take offense to that term, demon. Typically, people don't even really know how to spell it. They'll mix up the A and the E, or sometimes not include them at all. I prefer the term fallen, if that's all right, because we were all angels once, you know. Back in the day, your man, that blind Londoner, what was his name? John Milton. He actually got pretty close to what it was all about. The lieutenants and generals of hell conspiring and then falling. And I don't know if he had some kind of divine intervention, but he actually got our main campaign slogan correct as well. It is better to rule in hell than to serve in heaven. Yes, well, those halcyon days were full of youth and mistakes. I mean, we're not all bad. You have to believe me. Personally, I just fell in with the wrong crowd and then had to fall down to hell. I mean, I've never particularly described myself as evil, more mischievous. Yes, temptation is part of the game, tempting mortals to do things that they perhaps wouldn't ordinarily do and to bring them over to our team. But evil? Well, I'm not so sure. I think it's a little heavy-handed. Yes, well, damn it to heaven, we all had a good shot, but it would be inappropriate of me to speak about my previous employer. I'm quite happy to speak about my current employer, Luke. He's a real card. Well, I'm not sure you'd get along with him so well. He's very dedicated to the cause that we're all supposed to follow here on Earth. The collection of souls, that's right. Don't worry. I was worried this date was going to turn into business, but I think we're getting along just fine, so there's no need for any kind of transactions at this point. Unless I can tempt you. I didn't think so. Well, it's an interesting career. I mean, what's your line of work? Actually, don't answer that. I shouldn't have asked that. I'm simply not interested. My line of work? Well, I'm in sales. Yes, specifically the sale of defective goods. It turns out that people getting infuriated with purchases actually can turn them to quite evil deeds. It's very interesting being on the end of the phone when someone calls up to complain about a product that was damaged in transit or simply doesn't work in the first place, only to be told that no refunds. Tricks. Well, I think that it's a little belittling to call what I do tricks, but certainly, in the essence of the word, that is what they are. I can show you a trick, if you like. Sure. I'll show you my favourite. Ready? It's my favourite because it reminds me of home. But you know what? Being on Earth and actually indulging in some of the work that we've done here over the course of thousands of years, it's not all that bad. I mean, vodka, for one. One of my boss's better inventions, definitely. Me? Oh, well, interesting you should ask. I am very proud of my biggest achievement. I mean, I think you'll be a little surprised when I tell you. Well, I invented cereal. I know. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true. You see, breakfast isn't real. You don't need breakfast. It's a conspiracy theory to sell cereal. And cereal, it's not actually even food. It's just dry stuff. But the coup de grace on this one, and we really had to knock our horns together on this, but getting you guys to pour milk over it. Milk over cereal. It was brilliant. We all gave ourselves the day off after that one. I mean, the fact that you all drink bovine milk anyway, it's basically drinking blood. It's crazy. Well, because, when push comes to shove, bovine and cloven animals are kind of our thing. I know. I mean, you don't even drink human milk for very long. It's very strange. But yes, I know it sounds a bit silly, but that was my big achievement. Well, that and the plague, but it's very old school. We don't really talk about those things anymore. Well, because they're a little bit brutal. We're much more subtle nowadays, much more subtle. There's more finesse to our work. And, we make work for idle thumbs, as it were. But I suppose, ultimately, what we're trying to do here is to recruit people. I mean, already, I can tell by the way you look, by the way you act, by the way you're conversing with me, an entity of hell, that you would do very well on either side. You don't bat for the other side, do you? It's absolutely fine if you do. I mean, actually, we get a bonus if we convert someone from any other faith other than our own. Oh, curses. Damn it all to heaven. It happens a lot. The fact that I don't breathe really makes smoking difficult. But yes, if we convert someone of faith to our team from the other team, we get a car. A car. It's amazing, really. This paradise on earth. And you're all here to enjoy it, to experience it, with complete free will. And you're playing a game that you don't even know you're playing. Ooh, I would say one of the ideas that the other team came up with that I'm a big fan of, and you'll be surprised by this, I'm sure, is gambling. Yep. It was invented as a form of abstinence, so, well, you need my boss's luck, Luke, for the game itself. There is actually a very intricate process of abstinence within it, so I think the general school of thought on it is gambler's remorse. The idea that you bet a lot into a game, so much so that even if you know you're going to lose, you don't back down. Very clever. Now, if you do back down, that shows faith. It shows that you understand what you're doing. If you keep going, then, well, let's just say that's a mistake. Well, choosing a side is a big decision. It's my job to tempt you to us. I mean, can I tempt you to another drink? No, of course not. But it is very nice vodka. Worth a shot. Well, ultimately, there's a school of thought in both teams, actually. It's to do with the thought process. So the idea is that you have an initial thought about something. Let's say a dog bites you. Your initial thought might be to kick the dog or to, in some way, harm it back. Now, that's your initial thought. You might not do that, so that thought could be as evil or as good as you like. What counts is the second thought, the assessment of the first thought. Do you carry out what your knee-jerk reaction was? Or do you make your own decision to do something else? That's who you are. That's what makes you good or bad. That's what makes you cruel or kind. That's what makes you a non-smoker or a smoker. Yes, it is like actions, but in a way, the second thought is the action. But I am not here today to try to persuade you to join my side or their side or anything like that. We're just two friends enjoying a date together in a very human bar. Ultimately, you're already playing the game. and the decision you make is up to you. I suppose the best bit of advice that I could give is to listen to yourself when you hear yourself talking, and when you talk to yourself, see what you say. I can't make up your mind for you. Nobody can. That's why you have free will. Our jobs would be significantly easier if you didn't. And believe me, we tried. But be careful with the little things. You'd be surprised. Some of our biggest wins, some of the most evil people that we've ever taken across to our side, have been men, women who have made decisions based on tiny events, tiny little insecurities, tiny little mistakes, or very, very small bumps in the road. And that little mishap changes their life forever. It can change them from your friendly next door neighbour to the murderer next door. It can change them from hero of the people to genocidal maniac. You have to be careful how the little things change you. And change is the only constant. But listen to me, I sound like one of them. No, I am here purely as a form of temptation and purely to facilitate my role as one of the fallen. I tell you what, though, I think we would make a good team if you did decide to join our side. Then I'd hang around with you. But look at the time. I have a staff meeting with some of the other bigwigs down at head office, so I really must dash. But it was a genuine pleasure meeting you, mortal, and I hope that whichever path you choose the right one for you. And maybe we'll see one another again very soon.